welcome back to video 3. Hopefully you've gone through for the last week and worked out what you want to spend on your home maintenance, and that's really important that you do that. Again, it's looking into the future and coming back to bringing that back to reality. Don't forget, this program is not designed on what you have spent, it's designed on what you are going to spend and keeping within those parameters. And we're doing this as much as we possibly can in the most detailed way. So home maintenance we need to look at, and let's just say we spend in $1,200 per year, $100 a month. I know every time I go to Bunnings I spend walk out with a bag of screws and it's cost me $100. So let's put $100 into there. That comes up to $1,200, as you can see there. So home maintenance, $100 a month. Everybody's going to be different. There's no right or wrong. Again, these are things that we can adjust down the track if need be. So if you find you've got a major project and you can't afford to do that, we can cut back on that. Rates and levies. Now this is including water rates, water usage, and council rates. All right, nothing else apart from those two items. The average home in Australia, I don't know what they're paying, but you're probably looking at close on, including water usage, it might be close to $2,000 a year. That's what I'm paying, so I'm going to put down $167 per month, and that's that. Now if you're paying a body corporate for a unit or a strata titled place, again you'd be wanting to put that money in there. I don't have one, so I'm not going to worry about that. Now electricity and gas. Okay, so the next 12 months in advance. Now if most electricity companies and gas companies are online, you can tell what you've used, what your costs have been. Otherwise, dig back into your history, Visa cards, whatever you've paid your bill, and pop that in there. Now some people are already doing the automatic debits from their account on a fortnightly basis, and the electricity company holds that money. I'm not a big fan of that. It's your money, you hang on to it and pay for it until the bill's due. If you find that works for you, that's great. I always believe as much money as you can smash down on your debt and have to draw it back to pay for those bills, that's a better way to go. But if everybody's different, so electricity and gas, let's put that in there. Let's say the average person is paying for electricity, might be $450 a quarter. Times that by 4, that's $1,800, and you might be paying another $1,000 for gas. So that's $2,800. Let's divide that by 12. That comes to $234 per month. Okay. Food and groceries. This is an interesting one. There is no right or wrong answer, but I would need to know what your food and grocery costs are. Now that includes your normal day-to-day eating. If you drink a bottle of wine every second night or whatever, add that in there as well if that's part of your grocery cost per week. So it's the regular sort of stuff. I'm not concerned here about the eating out or lunches, takeouts and things like that. This is purely what you buy for the family at either Woolworths, Coles, Aldi's, whatever you go, adding those amounts in there. So that's what we're looking for in there. Again, everybody's different, depends where you eat, what you eat, and how many children you've got. But again, let's work that out on a 52-week basis and divide it by 12. Again, because we've got a monthly figure over here. Okay. So if we look at food and groceries, let's just say the average person might spend $1,200 a month. Okay, that's $300 a week roughly. So let's put in $1,200 a month. As I said, there's no right or wrong, and again it's about the allocation, because what we put in this box here is what we're going to spend, nothing more. Okay, so be very sure of what you put in here, so it's covering those items. Medical, pharmaceutical. Now this is where you put the amount that it costs you when you go to the doctor and the dentist, okay, and the pharmacy. So every household is different. Some people are healthy and they don't need to spend money on these items. Other people are quite ill and they need to spend money on these items. So it's different. I don't spend a great deal on these things, however some people do. So I'm going to use my figures here. this is what you spend. So let's just say it cost you $100 to go to the doctor and the pharmacy, and you get 50 of it back from the from Medicare. That means you get a rebate of 50. It's cost you $50 every time, and say you do that 10 times a year, so $50 times 10, that's obviously $500. Divide that by 12, and then we're going to spend $42 a month out of pocket expenses for dental and pharmaceutical and medical. Okay, you need to just go through that, even if you've got kids and things like that. Clothing account. I've asked this question a million times or close to it, I'm sure, and I always get to say, people always say, we're not going to spend any money on clothing. Well, guess what? I've never interviewed anybody that's sitting there naked, and I'm assuming you will be wearing clothing and you will wear them out, even if you've got a wardrobe full of them. So if you wear a suit to work or a suit for business attire, look at replacing one of those every 12 months. Business shirts, stuff like that. If you're really lucky and you've got a work uniform, that's even better. That doesn't cost you much money at all. But you will need a pair of shoes, and you also need a pair of runners, perhaps. Those kind of items. Work out what you need to buy 12 months in advance again, and put in those divided by 12 again. So if you've got kids, school uniforms, all of that, sit down, work it out, exactly what you need. I remember sitting in front of a client one time, and I could, at the time, I could clothe myself, my wife, and my 3 children for less than $5,000 a year, and she just couldn't believe that I could do it for this kind of money, because she was spending $7,000 a year on herself. Now, there's no right or wrong here. Everybody's different, but again, these are places that we can save money if we want to knock some debt down very quickly. And again, allocation. So if you look at what you are going to spend for clothing, put it in there. So let's just say we're going to spend $1,500 on clothing, and it has got cheaper over the years, I can assure you. Let's put $125 a month in there. These are my figures, no one else's. If you have a pet and you need to take it to the vet, for whatever, I'm not concerned about the food, because that should be, you could probably get that back into your food and grocery bill there. So if you've got a vet that needs some sort of special attention every so often, let's add it in there. It might be $10 a month, or it might be whatever, so let's just pop that in there to put a figure in there. If you have children's needs, such as you might need childcare or stuff like that, put it in there as well. Alright, so if you've got childcare costs, hop over that and you can just go childcare. If you don't have anything like that, you can go like that. Okay, I don't. Those days are gone behind me. Okay, so we moving on down. This is if you've got any other expenses. If you're renting a premises, that's where you put your rental. Okay, so it doesn't go into the debt as a cost up here on the rent and on the mortgage. It goes in here. Okay, because there's a cost. Okay, now we're going to go to the motor car and transport costs from there. So we're going to look at registration, maintenance and repairs. Now again, you might have just got a service on your car, but guess what, in the next 12 months you're probably going to get another one. So registration, I know in this lovely state that I live in, it's about $1,000 a year for registration, and they don't even give you a sticker anymore. Maintenance, you might need 2 services a year, and they cost you $350 a year, so it's $350 times 2 services, that's $700. And then repairs, it might need a new set of tyres every year, every 2 years, so that's $450, and it might need a new battery every 2 years. So we'll put it, say $500 or $450 in that cost there. So that comes to $2,200. We're going to divide that by 12 again, so that's $184 per month for the car. If you've got 2 cars, it's probably double that. Yeah, so look at that. Now fuel costs, what you spend per week, per month, per fortnight on fuel. I know I'm spending about $70 a week. $70 times 52 divided by 12 is $303 per month on fuel. Tolls and fares, some people have to pay that, some people don't, depends what it is. Again, that figure goes in there. You got roadside assistance, it might cost you $100 a year, it's still a cost. Let's go $120 a year, another $10 a month there. Okay, now if you've got parking costs, anything like that goes in there. Fares, tolls, and I'll even put it up here, and parking costs. Alright. Yeah, okay, so put that in there. Okay, now moving down to, this is a really good time to look at insurance and superannuation. If you need to pause this, you can go for your life. I'm going to go through and try to go through this spreadsheet. So if we look at insurance and superannuation, now this is only the cost out of your own pocket of your pay packet. Alright, so this is not if you've got superannuation in your work and your employer is paying that, then you don't need to put that in there because he's already paying that. This is out of your pocket. Okay, so if you've got any superannuation, that goes in there. If you've got life insurance and income protection, trauma insurance, disability insurance that you are paying for out of your own pocket, that amount goes there. Now usually they're a monthly bill, there might be a yearly bill, again divided by 12, 52 or 26, and put in there. Let's just go, I'm going to put down that, mark that up, $220 a month is what I'm paying, so that's what the cost is there. Health insurance, this is to your health insurance company. You might have a cost there, I don't have any, so I don't put any in. Home and contents insurance, building and contents. Okay, now sometimes this is a really good time to review this sort of stuff too, because some people really don't know what they're paying. It might be a good opportune time to look at reviewing these things, and you know, the insurance you bought 10 years ago may not be adequate for you now, and it's or if you have changed lifestyle and you don't need as much, it's a good time to review what you've got. Talk to your insurance broker, go from there, or jump online, whatever you need to do. Home and contents insurance, so this is building and contents. If you've got that insured, it might cost you $1,000 a year or $800 a year, depends who you're with. And again, opportune time to shop the deal. I've done how many times I've done this, and found that the clients are paying $1,500 per annum, and you know, you could halve that bill simply by shopping it. So I pay $800 a year for my building and contents, so that's $67 a month. So let's look at that. Car insurance, again, it all depends on if you're a good, bad driver, age, all that sort of stuff. I'm fortunate enough I'm paying $500 a year for one of my cars, so that's $42 per month on there. Business insurance, if you happen to have a business and you need to insure it, that goes there, or any other insurance. If you've got a boat, caravan, trailer, insurance cost goes in there. Okay. Now holidays, this is a fun part. What I want you to do now is finish this video off, and we will look at next time to look at the leisure and entertainment areas. This is something you can really control on.